Hi everyone. So it's been requested of me to kind of compilate and explain how I've been teaching Nova. I have trained both of my pugs in the past and they were extremely well behaved, and it just takes a lot of repetition and a lot of patience. Her, however, she's the quickest learner I've ever worked with. My two other boys were Napoleon was also quick. Beethoven took a long time to learn, but she is even quicker than Napoleon. Not by much, but she's still very, very quick to learn. She's just so similar to Napoleon, actually, because he was also extremely intelligent and very impatient. Sometimes those two go hand in hand. She got to a point where she would just do all the tricks in one go because she just wanted the treat. So I have compiled a few recordings I've done while I was training her. In the beginning, her first lesson, she obviously took a longer time, even though it wasn't too long ago, but that was about a little over a week ago now, about 9 days ago. I had her first lesson the first day she was with me. Today, she learned how to go down, stay, and come within 10 to 15 minutes. She's extremely, extremely bright, but she hates learning. She doesn't like rules and being told what to do and order, but yeah, tough love, right? So I'm going to show you a few of the training videos from the first lesson to the second lesson and then the third lesson. She's only had 3 lessons. She still needs to calm down. She is only 3.5 months old. That's the only thing that is kind of getting in the way of doing a big chunk of learning, because the boys would do half an hour to an hour of lesson and then they'd be good, they're fine. But her attention span's just not the best, and our sessions are probably half an hour at the most, at the very, very most. I also, what can I explain to you? I would say she's a bit difficult because she's so intelligent. She's so aware and attentive about everything. Nothing gets past her. She loves watching TV. She sees everything on the MacBook. She interacts with my boyfriend over FaceTime. She sees everything. She notices everything. She has her preferred shows. Like, she loves Puss in Boots. She doesn't like Underworld because it's scary. She thinks the lichens and the vampires fighting are freaky. She doesn't like the whole feel of the movie. She pays attention. She can pay attention throughout the whole film and watch everything that's going on. We've got a 57-inch TV, and it's all HD, so she's all like, oh my god, and she watches everything. She loves it.
Shall decide. Well, what will it be?
Let's see. If I was a secret treasure, where would I be? That one. I think I'll go with that house right there. I like it because...
So how people always comment on how well behaved our dogs are and how wonderful their personalities are, etc. I think that's a combination of obviously raising them well, training them well, and also because we get them from breeders, it's like a clean palate. They haven't had any horrible experiences to make them have instill in them these weird fears and nervous habits that a lot of other dogs can get. And that's unfortunate because a dog's behavior is a reflection on its experience with humans, and that's just really sad sometimes when you see all these dogs who have complete mental and social behavior problems because of the experiences they had with humans, and that's really, really sad. I also do not believe in allowing certain behaviors to manifest just because they're young and cute. That's where you make the biggest impact, is within the first 6 months, apparently. So now that she's 3.5 months, the next few months are crucial in how we are training her. For example, it's been a really good learning experience because our family friend's dog has come to stay with us for a week, and in the first day she showed this side that I never knew she had. She was extremely vicious and domineering and like towards him, and they couldn't play properly, and he was afraid to even go near her. And she was all, see, there's a difference. You have to be very observant. You know, when some people are like, oh, they're just playing, there's a difference when puppies play and when they start leaning towards that red zone, as Cesar Millan says, that aggression zone. You can see it from the time they're puppies, and you have to cut that behavior out. There's a difference between healthy puppy playing and unhealthy puppy playing. And because I've had puppies before, especially pugs, you can tell the difference between what's just having fun and you know, nipping each other lightly and play fighting, and actual aggression. And she, you know, at first they were playing, and then it switched over to actual aggression where her eyes are rolled back and she's just going nuts. And Muggs, which is the other dog that's staying with us, he is cowering. He is afraid to touch his toys. He's afraid to go near her because she would not allow him to touch his toys. She'd play with all his toys. She'd steal his toys. She'd want to take his food, his water, everything. She wants to go after. So the first day, I don't allow that to happen because that's not the kind of behavior I want to reward her or teach her that is okay, because how would she be as an adult? It's kind of like a child. You have to cut out certain behavior at the root. Don't let it get worse. Don't let it develop. Don't allow these behaviors to carry on to adulthood, and they'll be difficult dogs and you can't take them anywhere. So, you know, with her, the whole first day was me yelling at her and correcting her. I growled at her. Growling is amazing. People don't realize the impact it has, because you can yell at the top of your lungs and a dog doesn't really, sometimes they don't respond to yelling. They will sometimes, maybe in the beginning, and then they'll get sick of it and they'll be like, whatever. But when you growl, that's their language. You growl, they immediately stop and they realize, because when they're parents, like when you see dogs, not even parent dogs to the puppies, but when you see other dogs putting others in their place, you know, when dogs are out of control, like Cesar, I love Cesar Millan, and I feel like, you know, after watching, I understand more about dogs, and I became better with my dogs after watching a lot of his programs. But it's true, dogs are a reflection of you, and they can feel what you're feeling. If you're nervous, they're going to be nervous. You've got to be calm. So, you know, the more I yelled at her and the more I was trying to, you know, getting frustrated with her, she was tenfold more rebellious, frustrated, and would fight me even more. So, you know, the day, and that was just in the very beginning, because I was not prepared to have such a puppy that's such a handful, but we love her so much and she's worth it. But so with Muggs, she was terrorizing him the entire day, and the entire day I was correcting her behavior when she tried to stand on his back, and he's larger than her. So she was trying to nip his ears, yank his chin fur. He's a Scottish Terrier, so he's got all this long hair. And the whole day I was, you know, pulling her off of him, yelling at her, and especially growling when she was doing anything wrong, and she'd stop, but she'd keep trying the whole day. So it was me constantly correcting her, and I thought that did absolutely nothing until the second day. It was like black and white. The second day, she completely left him alone. The only time she got a bit crazy was when she was doing her bunny run, because when she does bunny run, she loses control. She goes nuts, and she'll even, like, you know, she becomes so like fixated in her moment when she's doing bunny run, and then I'll have to stop. Then I'll have to stop her, and I'll have to calm her down. Sometimes I'll have to put her in the crate until she calms down, and she's learned that crate is her downtime, and she doesn't cry anymore, so she gets out of the crate very quickly. Her crate time used to be half an hour to an hour because it took her that long to calm down, like in the first few days. It's only been 9 days she's been here, and she knows how. So she goes in the crate, leave her there, she's quiet, leave her there for 5-10 minutes, and then she's out again, and then she's calmed down. Sometimes she's right back in because she's acting crazy again, and she's learning like that. So it's a combination of creating, growling, constantly just cutting the behavior. You just have to correct it. Every time she does something, you correct it. No, bad, you associate. And dogs can read your face. It's scientifically proven. Dogs read our expressions. They can read around 120 or more human facial expressions. So they're always looking at you. And, especially pugs, they're so... I've had other breeds before, and pugs are so attentive to your facial expression. I think the reason why is because the moment from the time they first existed, they were bred to be companions of the empire in China, the imperial families. And so from the very first time they existed, which was thousands of years ago, they knew, already with people, so they're imprinted with humans longer than other breeds. And I think that's why people are so fanatic over them, because they're so human-like in the way they can read us and behavior and how she watches TV and all this, some stuff that I've had other breeds that they're not aware, they don't make that connection. They're very more dogs, I guess. But so with her, it was just constant correction the entire day. I was exhausted because I just felt like, oh my God, she's crazy, she's a devil dog, and that's it. I'm gonna have a really tough time. And then since then, it's been 3 days now, and she's been perfect. I wouldn't say, well, perfect. She has her moments, but 98% of the time she's good. If she gets carried away, the only time I saw her getting a bit aggressive towards him was during her bunny run and during their lessons because they're getting treats. And then I'd have to just push her off, push her away, no correction, make her sit. And all this repetition is really teaching her. It's only been 9 days and she's learned a copious amount of things. Her behavior has improved dramatically. She's just constantly learning more every day, and it's really a pleasure to watch her grow and develop in this way. But I urge all of you, if you see negative behavior, you really have to correct it as early as possible, because when people are like, oh, that's so cute, she's doing that. Yes, she's 3 months old and she's not doing much damage now, but if you keep letting her do that, you're going to be the embarrassment when you go to the dog park, or the dread when you go to a party, like, oh, it's her and her dog, and you want everyone to love your dog, and you want your dog to be on its best. You want to let them live to their full potential, so they're a joy to be around, and so they can be the best that they can be. If you let these bad behaviors harbor and you don't correct them early, then it's just annoying. Some dogs are incessant barkers, and that's because they were not corrected early. My dogs were not barkers at all. The only time they barked if there was something seriously wrong, like Napoleon barked because he was falling between the bed and the wall and he barked for my help. Or if, just certain things, they shouldn't be barking at everything that goes by though. It's just, it's about, social behavior. It's about learning. They're dogs, they're smart, they can adapt to whatever environment. Some dogs bark are so jarring that they make you jump, and it's just not pleasant. They're like kids, you can teach them, you can, correct them to not behave in a certain way. Some dogs are so chill, so socialized, they're not going to be all crazy and bark at every single thing that goes by, and it shouldn't be like that. And that's why you have to socialize them a lot. Like when they're puppies, don't be afraid to take them out. You need to take them out. Obviously make sure that they've had their shots. She's had most of them, but we take her everywhere. We take her to the grocery, we take her to TJ Maxx, we take her shopping, we take her everywhere, and we just have her in the carrier bag. And if they're in the carrier bag, they're allowed everywhere, as long as you have them contained. In America, I know in some places, even in New York City, they're more dog friendly, you can actually take them openly in the store and whatever, but in DC they're a bit more conservative here. But we haven't had a problem. As long as she's in her carrier, we take her everywhere. And the more people she's around, kids, dogs, she's learning. The best lessons are when she's with other alpha dogs, and they will growl and bark at her to just stop her from being nuts. And she immediately, dogs are so good at rehabilitating and teaching each other. It's amazing. And the problem with Muggs now is that because Muggs is not an alpha dog, he let her bully him, and he's a lot older than her. You know, he could have easily just, you know, growled at her, barked at her, and she would have learned. But he's not like that. I had to do the correcting, and it took a lot more for me to do that. But the point is, I saw results the next day and the day after, and that's what matters, is that all that work running around, it actually did something, and she's actually learning. Another thing is fears. Like, it's not nice when a dog has this fear, because it kind of interferes, you know, with their day. Like, some dogs have huge fears of, like, the vacuum, for example, and they're nervous, and like, okay, Muggs, he doesn't like the vacuum. He goes outside and he's all nervous, and, you know, for an hour when I'm vacuuming, he's just all kind of freaking out, and it's just not nice. And I feel like it's because he wasn't introduced to it properly, or something bad happened when he was a puppy. But that's why you have to be so careful. Like, with my 2 dogs before, Napoleon and Beethoven, I had to move them out of the way for the vacuum. Like, they didn't give a shit. Vacuum's coming towards them, they're this small, vacuum's huge Dyson, and they're just like, but I'd rather have that and them not be afraid of anything, because, you know, they're chill and they don't have any social or behavioral issues, because they don't have that nervous fear in them because of careful, like, conditioning. So when I first got the vacuum out, I was a bit afraid that she either had an experience before, whatever. She shouldn't, because she's from a breeder, but we adopted her later than her other siblings, so I don't know. She was living at the breeder's house, so I'm not sure what happened or whatever. But anyways, it was fine. They breed them so well there, and I'm really happy. She's never seen a vacuum before, and it was quite obvious. And she was sniffing it and checking it out. And, you know, I didn't start vacuuming all crazy in front of her. That's how you can start building up they can get overwhelmed very quickly. So I left the vacuum there for about 5 minutes. I tampered around with it, getting it all prepared, and she's sniffing it. And then, of course, when I turned it on, she was a bit, oh, okay, that's loud. And she came back and she sniffed all around it, and I started to vacuum very slowly away from her. And then she loves the vacuum. I'm pretty sure in a few weeks she'll let me vacuum her like Beethoven. Beethoven and Napoleon love to be vacuumed. The fur vacuumed. She doesn't really need it though. She's got such a fine coat. Black pugs shed less, and they have single coats, which is amazing, because fawn pugs shed everywhere. So anyway, now she loves it. She either sits on my lap or she plays around the vacuum, but she loves when I get the vacuum out. She just loves being around it. I don't know if she likes the sound or whatever, but I introduced that to her very carefully, you know, just so she can take it in and realize it's not a threat. And now I slowly vacuum around her. She doesn't have any fear to it, but I don't want to create anything by going nuts with a vacuum everywhere. But, you know, when I'm vacuum all around, when it's near her, I'm just a bit slower, and she has no fear at all. She's just playing around it. She likes watching. She goes near it. She likes to follow me with the vacuum and just watch me vacuum. So it's just those kind of things. Like, I'm taking the vacuum as an example of how certain things you got to introduce to your puppy carefully, and then bad behavior, nervous behavior, cut it out, correct it, so they can be more even-tempered when they're adults. But anyways, I hope you like. Some of the clips aren't great, but I did what I could with the training videos. You won't really see my face because it's on Nova. But if you do have any questions, please do let me know. I didn't ever take any classes for, you know, being a dog trainer. I'm not a professional, but this is just based on my own experiences and what people have always told me, that my dogs are such, well, you know, very well mannered, even temperament, and this is the way I've raised them. I'm a bit of a tiger mom, and that obviously I don't believe in harsh punishment. I used to, but when I was a teenager and had the boys, I was young, and, you know, young, impatient teenager, and got so frustrated with them, and I spanked them, and, you know, it wasn't the best way. There's other ways. There's a method that I like, which Cesar Millan uses. It's to just kind of tap them in the neck, to nip them in the neck. You don't want to touch their hips or the bum because they don't have any fat there. And especially with pugs having hip issues, or just dogs in general, you don't want to be spanking their hips because they don't really have a bum. So you're not really attaining anything but you may be harming them, and you may be contributing to a problem. What if they already have hip issues or they're going to develop it? That's just not going to help, and it doesn't really teach them much. But the growling works so well, and also the tapping at the neck. It's almost like, I'll use this. Say this is the head and they're doing something really bad. It's just kind of like not slapping, but it's just moving, jolting their head away. And they learn from that, and you're not hurting them. It's actually a really good method. It works. But just remember, it's repetition. They learn by repetition, and you need just a lot of patience. And positive reinforcement, when they do something good, when they do something really good, you praise them. Like Nova has already learned to go outside by herself using the doggy door. And she goes on the puppy mat, but she still gets confused because she can smell the toilet. People go to the toilet, she can smell urine and blah, blah, blah because of people using the toilet, and then she'll sit beside you and then pee because if you're peeing or whatever. So I can't really get in trouble for that because she's confused right now because she thinks, oh, you're doing it, well, it's okay if I do it. So I didn't scold her, but I said, no, bad girl. And I looked angry because they can read your face. They know when you're happy, they know when you're angry. So you have to look mad when you're actually trying to teach them because they want to please you. Dogs are naturally predisposed to wanting to make you happy because they're sweet like that. So, it's like very much child-parent relationship. So when you look angry, that is doing much more impact than spanking them or something like that. So I look angry, then I take her to the puppy mat, and then I place her there. So this is what happened. So after I was finished in the toilet, I come back out, and she pees right in front of me on the puppy mat, and she came to me and she gave me a kiss. It's so cute. Anyways, again, I'm saying bye for the 100th time. Yeah, that's about it. So I will just keep you updated. If she does anything else interesting or different, I'll let you know. I may continue. We are thinking of putting her into agility because she's so active and she's so energetic, and agility is good for dogs who are naturally like that. If she was a typical pug, like Beethoven was a typical pug and just wanted to sleep all day, even in his puppyhood, we knew agility wasn't for him. But for her, she has this energy. I don't know where she gets it, but she would do really well in it. So anyway, I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye. Mwah. Sit. 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 Good girl. Sit. No. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Sit. No. Come here. Come here. Sit. 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 Good girl. And it's important for them to hear the word and feel the action. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Okay? Again. I'm biting off small pieces. Come here. Sit. Sit. Come here. Sit. 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 Up. That's lay down. Sit. No. Come here. Sit. Nova. Come here. Come. She doesn't even know come here. Sit. You push the bum down. Sit. No. Sit. Sit. Nova. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Okay? Up here. Sit. Sit. No. Sit. Sit. No. Sit. No. It's a lot of repetition. Sit. I'm getting confused. Sit. 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 Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Must praise her when she does the right thing. I don't want to allow her, if she lays down the first few times, it's okay. But if she keeps doing it when you say sit, you have to correct her. Because lay down will be the next one. Sit. No. 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 Sit. 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 No. Up. Stand up. Sit. No. Sit. Good girl. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Now she's allowing me to push her down instead of fighting against me. Sit. Good girl. Nova, come. Nova, come. Come. Good girl. Sit. 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 Good girl. Good girl. Sit. No. Sit. No, Nova. No jumping. Sit. Good girl, Nova. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. Up. Good girl. Good girl. Sit. That's sit. Okay? Good girl. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, it's a good girl. It's right here. Good girl. See? You can do it. Okay. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Okay. Up, go. Okay, up again. Sit. Sit. Nope. No. Good girl. Good girl. She's just really, really rebellious. Really, really, really cheeky. She really is. You cheeky girl. Yeah. 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 She's a strong character. And I feel she's extremely intelligent. She's just more stubborn than anything else. She's extremely stubborn. Because she knew what I wanted, but she still fought me every step of the way. It was easier to teach some of my other dogs because they weren't so rebellious as she is. She likes being bad. She knows that she's not supposed to pull the carpet. She knows, and she still tries to do it, even though she knows she shouldn't, because she's a baby. And I think babies don't really listen often, right? Okay, well, thank you for watching me, and Nova. Hey, not my hair. Not my hair. Hey, you need to calm down, okay? Okay? You need to calm down. Hey, no. Shh. Nova. Okay, so she's learnt how to shake paw from that last video you saw, even though it looked like she didn't know it that well. Come here, Nova. Sit. Good girl. You didn't quite see her. Come here, Nova. Get up again. Sit. Good girl. And I'll do it again. Nova, come here. Sit. Good girl. Now we're going to teach her how to shake paw. Repetition again. No. Shake paw. Shake paw. No. No. Shake paw. Shake. Shake paw. Sit.
swear. I will
Shake
return
paw.
you to normal.
Shake paw.
I will return all of you to normal.
Sit. Shake paw. Shake paw. Shake paw. No. Shake paw. Good girl. Nova. Sit. Sit. Shake paw. Shake paw. No. Shake paw. Nova. Sit. No. You do not jump. Why are you all over? See, this is what happens when you have a 3-month-old. 3-month-old. Nova, come here. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Shake paw. Got stuff on your face. Sit. Good girl. Shake. Shake paw. No. Shake paw. Shake paw. Good girl. Shake paw. Come. Sit. Good girl.
Smells like cedar shaving and old Buddha cheese.
All right.
Here.
Here. Gave me a magic elixir. We have nothing to worry about.
Sit. Good girl. Sit. Shake paw. Shake paw. Shake paw.
I just remembered something, Bartholomew. Something I forgot long ago.
Shake paw. Shake paw.
Kung Fu!
Oh,
No.
you've got to be
No. Shake paw. Shake paw. Shake paw. Good girl. Good girl. She did it. You did it. Okay. She's a very fast learner, as you can see, but extremely impatient. Yeah, you did it. Come here, Nova. Come here. Come here. Over here. Camera can't see you. Come. Sit.
You are the supreme
Shake paw. Shake paw. Shake paw.
mighty Bartholomew.
Good girl.
I don't have to beat you. I just have to keep you busy for a minute.
Okay, sit. Shake paw. No, shake paw. Shake paw. Do it again. Shake paw. No. Nova. Sit. Shake paw. Shake paw. No. Shake. Come here. Sit. Shake paw. Shake paw. Shake paw. Good girl. Do you see how that works? Last one. Shake paw. Shake paw. Good girl. It's just repetition. It's not your paw.
Without him, none of
Come
us
on.
would be. You've just been-
Sit.
I apologize.
Shake paw.
You're right, Holly.
Shake paw.
Now on.
Shake paw. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, that's it for her. So she's got it now. And
You see?
whoop, we're going to try tomorrow. And I'll show you what it looks like then. Thank you. But she's very impatient, but you'll see. Sit. Good girl. Good boy. Come here. Sit. Sit down. Good girl. Okay. Up. Up. Sit down. Good girl. And she'll show you what she already knows from before. Sit, Nova. Shake paw. Shake paw, Nova. Shake paw. Good girl. Mulligan, you too. Shake paw, Mulligan. Shake paw, Mulligan. No. Shake paw, Mulligan. Shake paw. Good boy. Nova, sit. Shake paw. Down. Good girl. She's learnt that within maybe 15 minutes. right? Within half an hour because of all her fighting and demanding. But she's so smart. And so anyway, any questions, please do let me know. Bye-bye.